Welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I got back from the amusement park yesterday. I slept, I woke up, and I am on the downhill spiral of a sugar rush. I am in the crash section. So if my voice sounds raspy, if I am in and of myself weird, a little bit different, a little bit lucid. That has an alcohol. That's based upon alcohol, I believe. Lucid. That's more of an alcohol type of high, I guess. I don't know. The point is, I'm probably not going to be similar to how I was last episode. And that's probably not going to be super smart, because we are entering our next temple today, which I gave no build-up. Welcome to the Water Temple, widely considered the worst dungeon in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is something I completely disagree with. I do agree with the fact that this is confusing. This is not super fun to go through even on consecutive playthroughs. But I think it's a well-built dungeon, and I think the reason it is so difficult to go through and so many people think it sucks so much is because it is hard, and it is confusing, and it is a well-built Zelda dungeon. And that's just the way I see it. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But there are some things which are hidden in areas which I'm just like, yeah, developers, you suck. And there's another mechanic which makes this whole thing just go by really slowly, which I will admit is not good. But again, that's for a later date. There's something over there we can't get to just yet. Even if we try to jump, we can't make it, I don't think. And even if we could get there, I don't think it's that important. I believe that if done correctly, you can do a jump, or you can jump off that, do a jump attack, and then you can land on that platform. But again, even if we could get there right now, it's not super important. I do want to see if I can get that, because it's super fun to do, and it makes me feel like a cool kid, but it doesn't seem to be working out. There's a door which is locked with a small key, so I can't really do anything about that. There's some area over here, which I could hookshot to if my hookshot reach was a little bit longer, but it's not, so alas, that area will have to remain for another day. And then there's this area over here, the only other place we can really access currently, that's above the water level. I say above the water level because there are things I can go to later on. This temple is built upon putting the iron shoes on and then taking them back off. This is another thing people really don't enjoy about this game. But this game, not this game in general, sorry, this dungeon. It feels and is very, very, very slow due to the fact that you have to go into your equipment subscreen and then equip the iron boots so you can continue on in the dungeon. This isn't super fun to do over and over and over and over, and comparatively to the other dungeons, which were pretty easy to go through and pretty nice and had a nice flow, this dungeon just churns to a halt, and it's probably one of the reasons I'm not a super big fan of this. But optimizing a route through this area is really fun, which is why I didn't optimize a route through this area. I was considering pulling up a guide for this, but I feel that going into it blind would be so much more fun, because I do have the previous knowledge of playing this game, but I also don't necessarily remember some dungeons the best if I haven't played through them in a while. These guys have come back from the third dungeon, the Great Jabu Jabu's Belly. These guys are a little bit more annoying now, though. You cannot pull out your sword or anything else that can really harm people in the water, or harm them easily, at least. Your hook shot can be used underwater. This is your only way of attacking these guys. So they move fast. You can't just, I don't know, pull out your sword and slash them really quickly. You do have to hit them with your hook shot, so you have to back up. It makes combat with them a little bit more tedious, I'd say. I wouldn't say tedious, actually. It makes it different, and it's actually kind of interesting, but it's not the best. Let's see, is there anything I can do in this area currently? No, not particularly, unless there is a hook shot thing right on the ceiling, which is a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. That has happened a few times, or this does happen a few times in this dungeon. So maybe. Yes, there are quite a few. There are 3, in fact. Wow, 1 was an understatement. the weird thing about these hookshot sections, or this hookshot section in particular, is that you have to get the perfect hookshot target, or else you will fall back into the water, and that kind of sucks. It's really not super cool that they do that, but it's alright, I guess. This area is kind of weird to me, and kind of pointless to me to get right now, I think. I believe I have to go to the very, very bottom of this dungeon first, but I'm kind of taking a different route just to see how things go, which I guess isn't all bad. But with that, I should be able to easily access this chest and see what's inside. It might be a compass, it might be a map. I don't remember what's inside the chests here. I just play Zelda games for fun. It's the compass. I'm never gonna use you. Goodbye, good sir. I don't know what just happened with my voice there. It's the freaking sugar crash. It's making my commentary willy-nilly and frankly weirder than it usually is, which is an accomplishment. But hey, who knows? This might turn out well. I doubt it. But, so we got the compass there. You can get that right now. I never really considered getting that to be a big deal. And I'm not going to check anything else, which is on the second floor, because I want to do something else. First of all, I want to bio these guys, because they're kind of interesting. This is a spike. They may be interesting, but their name is not. Aim for it when it retracts, it's spikes. I somehow put my... Oh, I put my arrows onto it so I could have a bigger range. My bad. So these guys are pretty easy to deal with. Essentially, you hit them once, they turn into a rock, which can be easily destroyed by a hookshot, but they chase you, and they're not fun to deal with underwater. But they're not terrible to deal with underwater. So, let's go into this door real quick. There's probably a few places I can go to. In fact, I might not even be able to do anything here just yet, which I guess remains to be seen. Yes, I cannot reach that area just yet. Also, there's a small key door, or locked door, kind of blocking my path there as well, so it's not like I could go there even if I wanted to, or even if I could reach the hookshot target. The words that I'm trying to find are flying straight over my head. So let's put these iron boots back on. This might take more than 2 episodes. A lot of my, my videos, when it comes to dungeons, have been taking 2 episodes to get through. I will take this dungeon a little bit slower. I'm not planning on doing all of this in 2 sittings, because that just wouldn't be fun for you to watch, nor would it be fun for me to do. There are 2 other areas I can get to right now. One of the areas is blocked by a, one of the 5, wow, I was overcounting. One of the 4 areas I can get to at this current moment is blocked off by a, block, so I can't get there just yet. But there's this over here. This is the only other place I can get to. I couldn't go do anything there because it looked like I had to blow up a platform. And I couldn't do that because I can't use bombs underwater. But it's been a while. Oh, you. If I'm right, Link? You're Link, aren't you? It's me, your fiancé, Rudo, Princess of the Zoras. I never forgot the vows we made to each other 7 years ago. You're a terrible man to have kept me waiting for these 7 long years. But now is not the time to talk about love. I'm sure you've already seen it. Zora's domain, totally frozen. A young man named Sheik saved me from under the ice. But my father and the other Zoras have not yet. I have to save them all. I want to save Zora's domain. You have to help me. This is a request from me, the woman who is going to be your wife. I almost said fiance, but I guess that is already what she is. Link, you have to help me destroy the evil monster in the temple, okay? Inside the water temple, there are 3 places where you can change the water level. I'll lead the way. Follow me quickly. So we're getting into one of the mechanics which makes this temple what it is, and what makes this temple one of the most hated temples in Zelda history. Yeah, we can change the water level, and it is kind of a pain to do so, and it's a little bit confusing. But we'll get there when we get there. Kind of like I feel like kind of a little bit of a dad who's like, we'll get there when we get there. When the kids are like, Dad, when are we going to get to the Wendy's? He's like, eventually, we'll get there when we get there. I don't know where that came from. I guess personal experience of me wanting to go to Wendy's. My dad just talking about not getting there when we got there. Anyway, I don't I hate myself. Right here, if I pull out my Ocarina, you'll notice that there is a line, which means or a bunch of lines, which means I can play a song. It looks like a Triforce, because it is Triforce. So if I play Zelda's Lullaby, which seems to have worked every other time I use it near a Triforce, something kind of magical will happen. The water level in this room, and throughout the entire temple, has actually changed. I believe if I go out of here, there will be a few spikes. This room isn't super important, I don't believe. I believe it gives me the dungeon map, because I don't remember it being too useful. That being said, it's probably going to give me something similar to a small key. Not something similar to, something like a small key. Though I guess the message there is kind of the same. There we go. We have a little chest which I can open up, and by the size, it definitely looks like it's going to be the dungeon map. How did I know? I sure know how to call them. I might just remember not remembering that room very well, despite the fact that I knew it had a chest, so I kind of assumed it was the dungeon map. But anyway. So now we can fall down here. There was an area that I could get to before up there, which I can no longer get to due to the fact that the water level is actually down here now. So I might be able to get to that at a later date, but I don't know. That's a big fat might. But something I do know I can do is not put my Megaton hammer on my C-stick equipped, because it's not going to be useful to me whatsoever in this dungeon. But I do know I can stand in this corner, pull out my bow and arrow, and shoot it right at that torch. It will light the torch on fire, and I can do the same right there if I'm just a little bit higher. There we go. And that opens up that door. So I can go through here and see what this room has to offer. These are some more new enemies. They're shell blades. Its internal muscle is its weak point. So just like they said, these shell blades will open up, and you can just hit them right in the face, and that's an easy kill. But as soon as I said it was an easy kill, they showed me what can be kind of annoying about them. If you are too slow, they will actually turn around, making them invulnerable because you can't do anything to their shell, and they will chase after you, spikes facing straight in your direction. So they can be a little bit difficult, especially underwater when your movement's slower. So don't say, oh, these guys are easy, like I did, and get hit a lot. They can be a little bit of a pain. But there we go, that's the small key I was thinking about. I knew it was somewhere in this room. But with that, we can go ahead and exit, because there's nothing super important for me to do right now in here. I don't think, at least. And there's nothing I can do in there, so there's nothing I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't even, what's language? What is language? Now, right over here, this area was previously inaccessible to us because it was a little bit high and there was also a block. But now we can actually reach it because there are a few blocks that do raise with the water level. So, not only are you trying to raise the water level to get to the level... Wow, that's a lot of levels. Not only are you trying to raise the water level to get to the room you want, you're also raising the water level to actually make other rooms accessible that you previously couldn't get to even when the water was at that level. Because, like, you might think, oh, I can just go to different rooms because I can swim in the water. I can just take off the iron boots and put them back on to get this to certain areas I want to. Even then, some areas won't be accessible to you because there are things you cannot do while you're underwater, and also some areas are just completely inaccessible because you need blocks to be down there to push things like a box, like I just did. That was so much harder than it needed to be. That's a blue Tektite. They reappear. Something you might notice is these switches actually raise water geysers. Those will allow you to walk on them, first of all, which is just... I mean, if there's enough pressure, I guess it's possible. But it'll allow you to reach farther places, gaps that are pretty big. So that's pretty nice. This area is a little bit funky. You can't really just swim here. Because if you do try to just swim here, you'll notice that I am moving without actually kicking my feet. There's a current in this water. It will take me wherever it wants me to go, which in this case is a big fat circle. But while I have my iron boots on, I am not capable of using the current to my advantage or making it move me around anywhere, which is fine, because what I want to do is stand on this, and right over there, there's like this dragon mouth type thing. if I shoot that, that opens up a thing over there, a gate. A gate, that's the word I was looking for, which I can hookshot over to. And I can enter here. I'm going to avoid these clams, these little clam boys, because they're really not super important to me. With that, I'm locked in here, and if I turn the other way, maybe. No, I think I just have to take my boots off. Ugh, ew, having to go back and equip. It's not that bad, but something I was talking about before. The 3DS version does make this dungeon slightly better. The iron boots in the 3DS version are actually an item equipped, and you can also equip about 5 items in the 3DS version, comparatively to the 3 that you can equip here. Also, the Ocarina isn't actually an item in the 3DS version. It's actually just its own dedicated button. The 3DS version does a lot of things to make certain things a little bit less annoying. And I kind of wish I was playing the 3DS version, but the N64 version has its own charms. There are things that are in the N64 version which are nicer, like Link's polygonal face. Ain't he a beaut? Now anyway, that's all we have to do here. We got our small key and now we can exit. This dungeon might make you feel like a cool kid. Like, you got so many small keys flying out your pockets, you don't need to go look for any. Take that idea, beat it to a pulp, and never think of it again. Because this dungeon has a lot of locked doors. Remember the last 2 dungeons? You might think, wow, that was a lot of locked doors. No, that was not a lot of locked doors at all, comparatively to this dungeon. Also comparatively to dungeons down the line, but even this dungeon just tops them all. So collect as many small keys as you can. Don't feel you're doing super good and you don't have to actually go out of your way and explore every single nook and cranny of a room, because you will end up screwing yourself over. Sorry for my foul language. Wow. Sorry for my foul language, but that's just the way it is. You will end up not having a good time. Right there. I can hookshot back up here. Some areas are a little bit weird. You can't just swim. I don't want to equip my Kokiri tunic. Some areas are a little bit weird where you can't just swim to the top and you do have to hookshot. It's an extra thing that you have to do, and it's just kind of annoying when you don't know about it. I don't know. That might be me whining a little bit, but there was an area that had something that looked extremely bombable. And since I am in the mood to do some bombing, why don't we place one down right here and wait for the explosion? I don't know if my voice is sounding a little bit too deep right now. Something I've always been kind of thinking about is I want my voice to mature a lot more. Not necessarily get deeper, because as it is, it's deep enough, I think. But I do want it to mature, because currently I do sound like, well, a teenager, because I am one. But over time, I do want my voice to mature, sound a little bit better, so I don't cringe when I listen to these videos back, because I remember it's been about a year since I started this YouTube channel, which is, first of all, crazy. I never did a video about it because I didn't think it was super important, but it's crazy to think back on that. And I've also noticed my voice has changed over time. So if you go back and watch the first episode of, let's say, my Breath of the Wild playthrough, after watching this, you'll be like, this man sounds like he just came into existence. Oh my lord. And I agree. And one day I want to get to the point where my voice is completely mature, so a reason that by the way, yes, I did equip the Megaton Hammer because I was a little bit afraid that I would have to use it to actually push down that switch, and my statement of it being completely useless in this dungeon would have been wrong in and of itself, but that's not how it turned out to be. Anyway, what I was saying is I do want to get to the point where I can be like, yes, this is my content. I don't feel really embarrassed about it at all because my voice is, you know, super high pitch or anything. But maybe one day, now, I don't know how I'm supposed to activate that. I had to spin attack, and that range was good enough to hit that switch. That was a very simple solution. I was trying to use my bombs, I was trying to use everything under the sun, and it didn't work, and that was the solution. You know what? I feel like an idiot sometimes. In fact, I feel like an idiot a lot of times. But that just makes me sad. That just makes me a little bit sad. But there we go. That's a room with a gold skulltula. That's the only purpose of this room. But it's worth it, because gold skulltulas are worth it. Past the 50th gold skulltula, it's not worth it. But hey, up to the 50th, it is worth it. Also, since I'm never actually going to get 50 gold Skulltulas, since that's not on my to-do list, I will tell you exactly what you get for getting 50 gold Skulltulas. You get a piece of heart, so if you're interested in collecting all the gold Skulltulas, there you go. That is what you get from it. You don't just get a bigger wallet or a rumble pack extension. It's nothing of the sort. It's actually super important if you want to 100% the game. But, I don't find it that necessary. I've already been down here. I want to make sure that I am getting to everything I want to get to, because I don't want to completely forget about something. I do usually double check rooms. This, I don't know if I've been down. If I have, I guess I'll just cut back up to here, with me saying I'm an idiot. I didn't even need to cut. I'm an idiot. I've been here. This is the area that I couldn't do anything in previously. And hey, look, nothing's changed. Wow, that's great. Anyway, there is a place that I couldn't get to before. Not only due to the fact that there was no way to actually reach it because there was no platform down here, but also because there was a there was a lock on it. Ooh, Link's biggest fear. So we can open that door up, and it'll take us into essentially the main hub of this dungeon. And I say main hub because it's in the middle. But the entire room outside of this is the main hub, really. I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, this room is a little bit funky. It is a straight up tower. It's a straight spiral, and with your hook shot, you can actually climb it relatively easily. I'm trying to find the exact place I'm supposed to stand. I think it's back here, and then I hook shot up to here. Yes, that was right. And essentially what you want to do is climb. But before you continue your climb, do this, because this messes me up almost every single time. I didn't want to take off my hookshot. I want to take off my bombs. This messes me up every single time, though. And this is super important to remember. Play the song here. First of all, you won't be able to progress without playing the song. But usually I look away when it's a cutscene. So I always forget that the game shows me exactly where there's a secret. The block that raised up was covering a hole that you can enter, which has a small key. Now, I'm going to spoil it for you right now. There's a small key down here. I always forget this. I always get to near the end of the dungeon, and then I realize I'm missing a small key. I walk everywhere around the dungeon. I never think to go in here. I come in here that one time. I raise the water. I look at the cutscene, and I'm like, oh, wait. There's something under here that I didn't go and see. And then I realize the mistake I made. Don't make the same mistake as me. Remember this forever and forever, always, because forever and forever always is just stupid. I can't believe I just said that. That was a whole bunch of unnecessary in that one sentence. But just remember it. Remember it. The point I'm trying to make is it's important, and you need to remember it because you are going to get a small key. Which, I don't know if you know this, but small key is kind of important. Just a little bit. Some more of these guys, some spikes, some clam dudes I already forgot the name of, but hey, clam dudes fits perfectly, so let's just go with clam dudes. I feel like I've become a completely different commentator. I'm usually very uptight, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't even care anymore. I'm like, oh, I forgot the name of an enemy? I'll put it on screen. Now I'm just like, yeah, figure it out yourself. Go wiki it yourself. I don't want to deal with this. Oh, but there's our small key. We got it. There should be something else. No, actually, there's nothing else here. We pressed that switch and it let down a bunch of monsters. There's nothing up there. They didn't hide a secret where all those monsters were. So if you're thinking about saying, oh, the spikes came out of a little hole too, I can go check that out. There's nothing there. Don't worry about it. Don't waste your time. I say that, but then there's going to be another small key hidden there, which I didn't know about, and I'm going to have to come back and go through here again. Watch. Watch. I know what's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's going to make me even sadder than forgetting this section in general, because I would have never known about it. Wait, that makes no sense if I never knew about it, but I've already previously completed this game, then why would I need to go get that small key for anything? Other than, like, maybe a gold Skulltula at most. Anyway, on a more important note, we are now on the second level without water being on it, so we can enter, let's say right over there, that door, but I do want to see everything else this place has to offer. Over here, I can't get there just yet. You might say, Blue Tektite, please die, please go away. That's what you might say, because those guys get really annoying and they respawn every single time you exit the room. so you have to deal with them a lot. You might say, oh, I can just shoot that, and then I can quickly roll over here, float back up to the top, climb up, and get in, but you can't. It goes far too fast. You have to be able to hook shot to that, and with the hook shot range I have right now, that is, frankly speaking, impossible. So I'm not going to do anything with that just yet. Over here, I can also hook shot up to this section. I don't really need a hook shot up to it, though, because I can swim and just kind of climb up here, but I guess it's nice that they make a faster way of doing it. Another blue Tektite, which I can just kind of spam B and kill pretty quickly. Over here, there should be something important, if I remember correctly. I've been here already. I have been here already. Right? Yeah, I've been here already, but now I can actually access it without the water, which I don't think is super important. I don't think I will actually get anything from here. But just note, the time I went out of my way to go to something on the second floor to get the compass, this is the room that I went to. So if you are looking for the compass and you can't find it because you're following me and you didn't do the first thing because you went down straight to the bottom, that's where you get the compass. So there you go. There's nothing over there. There's no door. I can't enter there anymore. I believe that if I do this, if I actually get into the right positioning, if I stand right around here, maybe, let's see, right there, should work. That was completely off, but it still caught it on fire. Thank you, game. I can't enter back in here if I wanted to. Why would I want to do that? To show it off and be a super cool kid. But, yeah, it's not that important. It closes off. You can enter again if you want. But I don't find that to be super important. So the only place I have to go to now is right over here. I have enough small keys to do it because I'm looking around. You should do the same thing. And this. This right here. You see that blue Tektite? I usually forget about him. I usually stand on here and do the trick you're supposed to do. You pull out your bow and arrow, you shoot that switch, and then it makes you rise. Because you can't actually just walk into the geyser and it'll shoot you up. You have to be on top of it if you want it to take you anywhere, because it is essentially a solid object pushing you up. That blue Tektite will jump out, and there's enough space for it to give you knockback damage and knock you back down to the base floor, so you have to wait and have to do the same puzzle again. That blue Tektite is stupid. That blue Tektite deserves death, which is why I killed him. Wow, that sounds a little bit evil, but it's the truth. That's a really jerky placement. It really is, and luckily you can deal with him like I did, just luring him out and then killing him if you know he's there. But that's a noob trap, and that's such a jerk move. Like, Nintendo, you're stupid. You're stupid for that. So, we've been here already. That area that I could get to before I just showed off getting to, you can go there, and it'll raise the water level back up to the top. That's why I said if I actually was able to do the jump attack to get up there, it would be kind of pointless, because it would raise the water level to where the water level already is. So, yeah, that's not that important, if I'm being perfectly honest. But anyway, there was a locked door we couldn't get to before, but now we can get to it. There are a few keys here. They're normal keys. It's not like there's water keys or anything, though that would be really interesting, and I wonder what that would look like. Over there's a gold skulltula I cannot reach. That's just gonna kind of stare me in the face for now, and I can kill it. I can kill it. If I get the angling correct. If I just a little bit. Just right there. Just down a little bit. Just down a little bit. Just up a little bit. Just right there. Just down a little bit. Just up a little bit. Just down a little bit more. And then just stick it up a little bit. And then just go down a little bit. There we go. You can kill that gold skulltula, but you cannot reach it in any way, shape, or form. You can't walk over to it. You can't see target on it to do a hook shot onto it. You can't do it. A lot of things are out of my range. Wow, I wonder what the part of this dungeon is going to be, or the item of this dungeon is going to be. But over there, that's a locked door. I have somehow missed a small key. Ah, the wonders of the water temple. This room is kind of annoying. There are blocks going up and down, some going down with the water, some just going up and down on timer. This room's kind of annoying because you have to be very, very fast with your hook shot, And as you saw when it comes to precision aiming it on an N64 game, yeah, it's not the greatest. It's really not that good. But anyway, let's see where I missed that small key. It's probably somewhere obvious. Probably somewhere that's gonna make me feel real bad about myself. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Oh yeah, I'd like to note I'm cutting out a lot of the backtracking. And the reason for that is because you will see me going through areas I've already been with literally no change. And you think I'm joking, but no. If the water level is reset to the top and you want to go back to, let's say, the second level, you aren't actually able to do that easily. You are not able to do that easily. I know what I missed now, and I know exactly where I have to go, and it's making me kind of sad that I know what I missed, and I know exactly what I have to do, because I talked about it later. But anyway, what I was saying is, if you reset the water to the top, you do have to go through the process of leveling the water back down to the bottom, then leveling it up to the second level, the whole way. You have to go the whole 9 yards. Just so you can go to an area which you forgot to get something in before, which happens a lot. This is one of the reasons I love the concept of the water temple. I love the this is not one of the reasons I love the concept. I love the concept of the water temple. Raising water to get it to be exactly where you want it to be so you can solve certain puzzles. I love that concept. The execution is absolutely terrible. Fun fact, we're in the room where I know I missed something. You see that chest? It's probably a small key. Oh yeah, something else fun I'd like to note is that if you are playing this on the Wii U Virtual Console version, just know that you cannot turn off the rumble. And I believe I've talked about this before, but the rumble is absolutely insane, and it makes me kind of sad you can't turn it off. That's actually one of the main reasons I'm playing with the Wii U Pro Controller. First of all, it feels better, so I probably would have been playing with it even if it did have rumble. But the rumble for the Wii U gamepad is insane. Like, I have the Wii U gamepad currently stacked on top of a bunch of stuffed animals, and it's still, I can hear it rumbling, because if I set it on a table, and here's the reason I have it on a bunch of stuffed animals, if I set it on a table, and I recorded a video, and let's say, in the water temple, I started raising the water or lowering the water, you would hear, no joke, of the Wii U gamepad just bouncing up and down on my table, just being absolutely crazy insane with the rumble. It's dumb. I don't really like the rumble to begin with. The rumble's not that interesting to me. I think I've talked about this before also, but I just find it so funny that the Wii U gamepad is just rumbling so much whenever it plays Ocarina of Time for some reason. And I wish you could turn it off, Nintendo, but you've already dropped the Wii U, so what am I saying talking about additions to the Wii U? Work on Switch. Work on the Switch. In fact, add HD Rumble to a port of Ocarina of Time for the Switch. I'm just saying, it wouldn't make sense that you're selling a better, crazier version for only $20. I understand that, but, like, do it anyway. Do it anyway, please. Just fit my needs exactly. What? It's a bad business idea. Just fit my needs anyway. By the way, can we talk about this? A lot of people desire so much from Nintendo. They're like, oh, I want this, and this, and this, and this. And if you don't do it, Nintendo, you're dumb. I hate you. And then you think about it, it's like, hold on. Wait, give me a second. That doesn't make any sense at all. Business-wise. Why would Nintendo add, let's say, and y'all are gonna get mad at me about this. Y'all gonna get mad at me about this. Why would Nintendo add I forgot what I was gonna talk about. I forgot my whole spiel. No, I know what I meant to talk about. I just forgot what my analogy was gonna be. But let's say all you people that are asking for like another game that didn't sell very well. Let's just assume for a second that Mario, God forbid, stopped selling well. And you people in the minority who wanted more Mario were asking for another Mario game. But Mario games just didn't sell. Why, in God's name? Why on God's green earth would Nintendo make another Mario game to satisfy a small group of fans and not get a lot of money? Like, that's just not smart. I don't know why Nintendo doesn't do certain things which make them a lot of money, such as Virtual Console for the Switch. But I just also don't understand why Nintendo would do certain things and would fit your specific needs because, well, by God, they're my needs and I want them. What am I talking about? But you know what? I am actually where I'm meant to be. I have lowered the water. I whined for about 10 full minutes, which got me to the place where I needed to be. Wow. That's the power of being completely and utterly demolished and tired. That's insane. Anyway, I'm here. I'm where I need to be. I believe it's over this way. No, it's not over this way. This way. It's not over this way. I don't believe. Actually, I was completely wrong. Yep, I am all types of off. I don't really remember the layout of the water temple super well, because not only is it confusing to begin with, I just don't go back to this temple very much. In fact, I usually do playthroughs of this game up to the water temple, say, I'm not going to deal with this today, I'm kind of tired, I'm kind of done playing the game for a bit, and then that kind of being tired and being done with the game for a bit turns into being done with the game entirely, and by the time I get back, I've already forgot what I was doing, and I want to start over again, so I always usually end my playthroughs of this game when I get to the water temple. It would actually be kind of funny if this Let's Play ended at the water temple, though that would still be very sad for me. Because I do like to finish my Let's Plays. I kind of like to make that a habit. I do see people who don't finish their playthroughs, and it's like, wow, people really enjoyed that playthrough, but it was never done. And you know what? People don't enjoy these playthroughs, but might as well get them done anyway, just in case someone along the line does enjoy them. But hey, guess what? We got a small key. The one I was missing. And I literally said that area would be important, so remember it for later. I hate myself. This video is also going to be a little bit long. I said I would split this up into a few more parts, but apparently it didn't seem to be that way. I got into a very good mood, I'll say. And I usually don't get into very good moods often, and I decided that I would continue on recording, despite the fact that it was getting up to the 30-minute mark. So I'm here, still recording, for whatever reason, but I think I'm going to end it off soon. So for all those people who have been watching this video and hoping for it to end, I don't know why you would want that and you're still watching the video. Just stop watching the video, I guess. That's the best advice I can give to you if you're watching this video and you hate it and you want to stop watching. So stop watching. But yeah, I'm gonna end it off soon. I'll cut back up to the place I'm meant to be, and then I will see you there. Then I will see you there. Actually, you know, might as well show this off. Blue Tektite, I forgot to get him. He actually didn't get me. What's that song? For the first time in forever. God, I'm so tired. I am so tired. Again, I talked so I don't have to cut. I keep saying, I'm gonna cut. I'll see you guys in a minute. But I don't need to. I never actually need to cut. I'm just proving myself wrong. I'm like, I'll cut. Then I realize, oh wait, it's not that far, so I can probably get there while still talking about something. And then I do get into something, topic that I do want to talk about. And it's, oh, what is wrong with me? I guess that's a good thing for a YouTube commentator. You get into things you want to talk about, and you continue talking about them for far too long. But, I just find it weird. I believe you can skip 2 of these at once. But, it's a little bit risky, so I do kind of want to take it a little bit slow. And sometimes I do overshoot, so I apologize for that. And sometimes I press the C stick, but it doesn't want to work, like just then. And, I don't know. This section is just not that fun to me. Like, it's interesting, I enjoy it, but having to pull out the hookshot really fast just isn't a fun task for me. It's not hard by any means, but it's not fun. Now, we are in another room, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to kill these blue Tektites first. I think 1 arrow does the trick. It's 2 arrows. Really? Really? I don't want to waste any more arrows. But if I do pull out my hookshot and I hit this, you'll notice the switch that was previously red turns to being blue. And the thing I previously talked about, the dragon heads actually raising when the water raises, is something which is more noticeable now. So these used to be sticking down, and you couldn't actually hookshot over to them. But now, they are sticking up, and you can hookshot over to them. It's magical! And it's also simple puzzle solving. It's actually a really neat idea, and I really do like all the puzzles that come with changing the water and how all these puzzles are based on one super small mechanic, but it turns out to be really cool. Now, if you wanted to, you could hookshot over there, but then you would have to go and change the water all over again. It's a massive waste of time, because if you do hookshot over there, you will be stuck by this dragon head, which is raised up. If you hook shot to the dragon head, like I didn't mean to do, but because I'm using an analog stick as the seed stick, I guess I can show off. You just fall straight into the water. Wow, that... Wait, no, I didn't actually need to do that. Wait, raise back up. I'm wasting so much time. I'm already about 40 minutes into this recording, and I'm just wasting so much more time. I just realized how big this file is going to be. Oh, God. I've already previously stated I'm recording these in 60 FPS because Elgato forces me to. I'm thinking about how big this file is going to be and how little space my computer has. I'm a little bit afraid, but that's fine. We're almost at a good stopping point. I feel like we are. I can feel it. Deep inside my bones. I can also feel that I did not want to pull out the ocarina deep inside my bones. I might actually stick the hookshot onto the left stick so I don't pull out, let's say, the ocarina and waste a lot of time. Because, hey, I didn't know if you knew this, but that's a waste of time that I really don't want to deal with. I also just realized I haven't used a lot of my rupees, which I need to get down to doing. Rupees are pretty expendable to me right now because I have another way I can actually cap out my rupee count again. So if I was really starving for rupees, I could spend literally all of my rupees, and then I could get the count straight back up to the max. So, neato. But anyway, you can stand on top of the heads of those dragons, and they can raise you up to certain areas you previously couldn't get to. So, hey look, I'm right here, and hey look, it's a like, which I want to kill immediately. Because I really don't want to have to deal with this guy. This is usually where I actually do get hit by the like, but as I don't really want to take pointless damage, I will kill him right here, right now. Because if you actually hookshot onto that, it would take you straight into the like. Thanks, Nintendo. But this room is slightly different than a lot of the other rooms we've been to. It's foggy, there are rocks sticking out everywhere, it's actually quite large, and there's a tree in the middle. With that being said, next time, on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we'll see what this room has to offer. Because there's only one way I can look at it, and that's as an arena. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Until then.